show. My name is Ehi Rhiannon. I am your host. Today we're going to talk about an issue that affects a lot of us, relationships. And the topic for today is, why are you single? Today we have a relationship coach as well as a transformational psychotherapist, Medaya Chechik. She's been doing this for the last 18 years, and she's going to share some wisdom with us on the reasons why some of us are still single and the best ways to have a fulfilling relationship. Welcome to the show, Medaya. Thanks for joining us.
Thank you.
So my first question for you today is, what is the right mindset to meeting the partner of your dreams?
You said the mindset. I wanted to start by explaining that relationships are something that they're the arena where they reflect to us who we are. So a lot of times when relationships are not working, when we're having issues, whatever the issues may be, those are indications, those are reflections of what it is inside of us that needs to be understood, that needs to be corrected, that needs to be healed. Now, we show up primarily in relationships from old ways of how we identify ourselves, old identity, old conditioning of ourselves, how our beliefs are based on how we have been brought up, or based on primarily the experiences that the younger part of us, when we were children, how we were affected by what we experienced, by the traumas that we experienced, by what we learned, what we were told. So what we were told and what we experienced, and the experience that we went through, that created our own interpretations of the experiences that we went through, created beliefs about ourselves. So, for example, a very common thing is that if children don't have the wisdom, they see things that are happening externally to themselves, things that, their parents are not going along, there's fighting, there's arguing. Children have a very basic way of interpreting situation, and a very common thing that children do is that they take it upon themselves that whatever is happening out there has to do something, it's their fault.
It's your fault.
So that creates already a sense of, it's a false sense of self, but it's based on, assumptions, on incorrect interpretations, and unfortunately creates a sense of self that is not a fulfilling self, it's not a positive sense of self, that is an insecure sense of self, a false and wounded sense of self. So that when we are at the age when we're ready to be, in relationships, that's what shows up in a relationship, is those kind of identities that we have, those false and scarred identities. So when we are looking at what's going on in our relationships, those are very important clues as to, because that's we cannot separate who we are, how we see ourselves and how we believe we are, in how we show up and how we express with other people. And relationships have always traditionally have always been, even spiritually, have been the perfect arenas for personal development, for enlightenment. Because that is the only way, when we're in intimate relationship with another person, that we could really understand who we are.
Okay. So now, if I understand what you're saying in order to get that perfect relationship, we do have to work on ourselves from the past?
For sure, because when we're not happy in our life, we're not happy in our relationships, that is an expression of something that we're not happy within ourselves. And the same goes for the other person. So basically, it doesn't matter the kind of skills and the kind, relationship skills and communication, all the things, the external that we try to accumulate. Really, when we are confronted with another person, when we are showing up with another person, other people will pick up how we experience ourselves, how we, based on our core sense of our own self and our core beliefs. It doesn't matter. We cannot ever get away with that. So we really needed to understand what our core beliefs are, and we need to develop a relationship with our younger self that is based on it's based on acceptance and it's based on love, and we need to do whatever correction, whatever healing that needs to happen with that.
Okay, so now, what if somebody has had a bad experience before from childhood, if they've not had the best experience with regards to maybe they were not being loved, or whatever is not showing up for them in the present that has to do with the past? How can they change that? How can you adjust that? Now, you acknowledge that there's a problem, but how do you modify that to benefit you relationship-wise?
Well, the first thing is to be able to understand what it is that is not working. Then from what it is that is not working, then you can find out what it is that you want. So first of all, one needs to understand that whatever is not working is based on the false beliefs. And one needs to find out the true identity, needs to develop a new identity based on the truth of oneself, and based on that becomes the true identity of the true loving relationship. And one needs to understand, needs to know what one wants as a deep level, not based on what one's fears are or one's insecurities are, but what really one's true desires are. And one needs to make clear intention as to what wants, and that one needs to believe in that, needs to trust that, and then needs to find out what is it that I have a vision of what is it that I want to have, that about myself, how I want to see myself, how I want to experience myself, what kind of ideal partner do I want, and what kind of relationship do I want. So one needs to be clear about what it is that one wants first. So not just going out there and just kind of hoping for the best.
Right.
And whatever it is that we want, whatever it is that the ideal, partner and relationship has to be based on the true desires, on the truth of who we are. And then one has to be able to have the courage and to take the risk on it and see what kind of changes need to make. That one needs to make in the behavior, in the actions, in the external. So for example, if it's good to become aware of the patterns that are recurring in the different relationships. So let's say if a person has had many relationships that they haven't worked, it's good to know what was it that it didn't work, and then what is it that I want that is more in alignment with the deepest truth of who I am, and making an intention, and then being able to, so let's say if a person has a belief that, an insecurity about oneself, a low self-esteem, that I'm not good enough or I'm not lovable. And it's important to understand that, to know that one is being driven by that kind of belief. Now, if a person has that kind of belief, will attract, a partner that will reflect that.
Right.
So it is important for one person to take responsibility to say, I want to be able to know that I am lovable enough, that is the truth about who I am. I am, worthy to be loved, and to be able to make a commitment to live, to know that one oneself, and to adjust a life and to create a life around that knowing, as opposed to false belief, and then maybe see what kind of, what is it that the person needs to change in their behavior to show up as a way to say, this is who I am now. I'm going to speak my truth. I'm going to be, I'm going to be able to share what I think and be confident about that, and be able to express my needs.
Right. Okay. So now you mentioned about being clear about what you want, and opening up to attracting the right partner. So how do you trust that? So you want something, you want somebody who's committed and loyal and faithful, but how do you trust that? Even if you tell yourself, okay, I am loyal, I deserve this, how do you trust that to know that it would reflect itself in the person of a partner?
Well, see, it's important to distinguish it. There is a difference between a positive affirmation to say, I like this and I like that, and I'm beautiful and I'm more, and going deeper into going and connecting with the essence, the part of inside of us at a deep level, the younger part of inside of us that holds that truth, that holds that experience, and being able to make that change, that new, power, in that intention, that this is not just something that I want, but this is the truth of who I am.
Okay.
And then being able to figure out in what ways can I start behaving and acting and living my life according to that truth. So I have to start first.
Okay.
And then it's easy for me to attract.
Translate that and attract somebody of the same type, right?
Yes, because if I don't believe in myself, and if I don't live that truth, I'm gonna expect that somebody else is gonna do it for me.
I'm sure we've heard a lot of words of wisdom today from Medea. Thank you so much, Medea, for coming in. And just like she said, be the person you want to attract. So if you're looking for somebody who's committed, who's loyal, who's faithful, maybe we should try being committed, loyal, and faithful, and we would attract somebody of the same type. Thank you so much for watching. You can watch the show on www.tafikalife.com. Thanks, Medea, for coming in. Thank you, and have a good one.
I mean, I just think everybody has the potential to be loose with their sexuality, you know what I'm saying? There's not anything necessarily wrong with that, as long as you stay safe. So.
A lot of times, two people don't always have the same ideas about what's going on in a relationship, and then things end up not working. And
You ever been cheated on before?
oh yeah, yeah.
Are you single right now? Or are you in a relationship?
I am single right now.
When was your last relationship?
Ended last summer.
It's new life, really, It gives it to other people. So there's always another chance for another person.
Once a cheater, always a cheater. Do you agree?
Yes.
Would you ever forgive a cheater?
No.
Why not?
Because he cheated on me.
I believe the men are just men, but and I believe when they really love a woman, they won't do anything to hurt her.
What was your last relationship?
Right now,
What are you doing to spice it up?
nothing really.
Lots of communication, talking, because I figure if you're not if you're gonna cheat on someone, it's because you're not happy in a relationship. So why prolong the relationship, end it right there, and move on?
Yeah, but I don't know about her, but the white guy thing. I think any guy who just actually has like goals and aspirations, is going somewhere, not like a bum, looking for real men. Well, I'm not looking for nothing right now. I'm young. I'm 19. I'm ready to party. Yeah. This one wants to settle down.
These are the top 10 ways to spice up your relationship. Number 10, learn something new about each other. So learn a new language, learn a new hobby, do something together. Number 9, go shopping, update your wardrobe. That way you can help him try on his stuff, he can help you fit on his stuff, and you guys can get bonding together. Number 8, be spontaneous. There are no rules, just guidelines. So be spontaneous, try something fun and spontaneous. Number 7, travel together. There's something like magic when you go somewhere different together. Like you see a different side of them in a different place or different country. So travel. Number 6, share a fantasy. I'm just gonna leave that one with you guys. I'm not gonna tell you what it is, but share a fantasy. So fantasize and share it. Number 5, send a text, send an email, send something, do something small because it's the small little things that count. Number 4, get him or her in lip lock. Share some intimate gestures and it will get you guys closer. Number 3, surprise him or her at work. You would be surprised at how far you can go when you think of small little creative things you can do like that. So surprise him, show up at his workplace and just surprise him. He'll be very happy you thought of outside the box. Number 2, do not sweat the small stuff. Life is not that serious to sweat the small stuff. Because trust me, you would have bigger problems and you would know. So don't sweat the small stuff. Let it go. Number one, spend quality time together. Spend time together. This is the most important thing because that's the only way you can get to know each other. That's the only way the relationship can grow. Spend time together. And most importantly, have fun and stay a bourgeois. Thank you for watching.